Fellas, you know Degree Cool Rush deodorant, right? Well, last year they changed the formula, and guys were mad about it. One dude even started a petition. So guess what? Degree heard us, admitted they messed up, and brought the original Cool Rush scent back exactly how it was. And it's in Walmart, Target, and other stores now for under $4. So grab some and remember why its cool, crisp, and fresh scent made it the #1 men's antiperspirant for the last decade. Degree Cool Rush is back, and it smells like victory for all of us.
Auto insurance can all seem the same until it comes time to use it. So don't get stuck paying more for less coverage. Switch to USAA Auto Insurance and you could start saving money in no time. Get a quote today. Restrictions apply.
USAA. Hilton brings you new ways to stay. With experiences that let you capture the glory days. Introducing the Graduate Hotels. Each inspired by local college towns, these stays are always original and never boring. Get in touch with traditions all across the country and enjoy a stay that's a class above the rest. Book at Graduate Hotels with Hilton Honors Points at Hilton.com. It's a win-win. Hilton, for the stay.
From the Fifth Quarter Studios in Madison, Wisconsin, you are listening to High School Hoops with our hosts, Steve Collins and Jake Steger.
Hey everybody, welcome to High School Hoops, episode 18. We're going to talk this week about how as a basketball coach you can relax. But before we get to that, a couple things. First of all, I want to wish everybody a happy 2019. Make sure you go over and check out Dr. Dish. We'll link them down below. They're releasing today their new shooting machine. I hope you go over and check that out. Make sure you mention Coach Unplugged, and they will give you a $300 discount off your next purchase. It is a great machine. We have 2 of them in our gym, and it has helped us be really successful. I just can't imagine a better thing to get you become a better shooter, better basketball player than Dr. Dish. So go over and check them out. Also, make sure you go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. I think your New Year's resolution should be, how can I become a better basketball coach? Well, I think teachhoops.com is your solution. It is not only community, it's office hours, it's one-on-one calls. It's literally everything you need to become a better basketball coach. Why are you waiting? 2019 is just starting. What a great time to become a better coach. Go over and check them out. All right, let's get off to the podcast with Jake and myself and talking about becoming a basketball coach and how you can relax during the season and in an off season. All right, welcome to High School Hoops, episode 18. All right, Coach, shoot it off. What do we got this week?
After a long break, I'd really like to discuss the topic of how as coaches do we find time to relax, because I think it's extremely important taking the time to relax and take some time away from basketball, even in the course of the season.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you a couple. I'll tell you a couple ways that I do it. First of all, I think Audible is a wonderful thing if no one has Audible, which is the audio books, because I like multitasking. So I think you have to schedule how you're relaxing, just like you schedule the rest of your life. At least I do. I have to schedule my exercising, my walking the dog, my reading books or listening to books, all that kind of stuff. That's the way I relax. But I think, I don't know if you feel the same way, Coach, but I get so busy that if I don't schedule it, I lose it. I've even gotten to the point of scheduling my naps now. If no one's around, I need a nap. The whole Coach K used to take a nap before every game. Did you ever read that?
No, but I'm very about task oriented. So I'll make a to-do list. I think that helps me calm down.
Right.
So I try to eliminate some of the things that's going to create anxiety within myself, and I get those things done early in the morning. I think that's really helpful.
Okay.
So, I think.
And what do you mean by that?
It could be as simple as things that I want to do within my classroom, because I like to get a little head start before the new school year starts. Things I need to do with my family, things I know that need to get done that are really important, that are going to create home clutter. We talk about clutter all the time in regards to our basketball program, but I think often you have to have a clear and relaxing home life too. So those things that may get in the way of allowing you to relax, getting those things done early, scheduling appointments, I get them done early in the day. All those type of things, I try to schedule and get them out of the way so I can have time to be able to have flexibility within the afternoon and later in the evening to do what I
That's an
really.
interesting. My brother gets up at 5 a.m. Now he goes to bed at 9:30, and he runs a multi-million. I mean, he runs this huge business anyway. But he gets up. He does a lot from 5 to 7. Like, he's a firm believer that he gets a lot, and it doesn't take away from his family time. It doesn't take away from time that's important in that window. And he gets so much done. I have found now, we have a puppy, and I've been getting up early.
Mhm.
I've noticed that I don't get. First of all, I have first hour off, so I tend to get a lot done. It's similar to you in the morning, especially during the school week.
Yep.
But what I have noticed I tend to be a night owl. But what I have noticed about mornings is I don't get I don't get the emails and the distractions from 5 to 7 that you do from 10 to midnight. You know what I mean?
I would say that back in the day, my son is now 11 months, so doing stuff in the morning is really hard now.
Right.
Before that was my thing. I get up at 5 and I could get a lot done in 2 hours. Now it's
Right.
kind of like, now I reevaluated my life and I'm like, I have to really flip flop and try to find some way, whether it's from 8 to 9:30 or
Right.
even from 8 to 9, 10 o'clock, that I can be able to schedule that time, because trying to multitask with little kids, it's way too hard.
Right, and that's true. My life's different. I have basically an 8th grader and a junior, and it's like, you're right. So I think it depending on your life at that particular point. You're right. It's like, yeah. Once when my kids were little, as soon as I put the kids to bed is when I got stuff done, and then I'd be in bed by 10 because I'd be up with 6 with them. Yeah, I think that's different. I think it really depends on.
And I kind of knew like I wasn't going to get a lot done over break because my wife works full time in a bank. So I'm the one watching the kids over break, saving money on childcare. But like tomorrow we have still off of school. So I'm sending the kids both to daycare so I can just have a me day and get some things done.
Right. Get your work done and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Because I knew it just wasn't going to happen. Like my son just went to urgent care today. He's just not feeling good. So like, with little kids, your life is constantly never going to be consistent. So
right.
You have what your environment's like as well.
Yep.
When it comes to relaxing, I like to read. I think that kind of calms me down. Watching movies, trying to get away from something that's not basketball related is always good. Because if you start doing more and more of watching film and stuff, your gears start turning. You need to have a mental break away from the game a little bit.
Yep. And that's where one of my big ones is walks and stuff. We got a second dog, so I go for more walks, I think. But it's like I'm off at that point. I've got obviously my phone and I'm listening to stuff, or I'm listening to a book or a podcast like this or something. But I'm not thinking about my team. I've turned that switch off. I've turned Hey everybody, I hope you're enjoying that. Just take 30 seconds if you could for us. Hit pause, stop that treadmill, stop the car and pull over to the side of the road and leave a review. We would love that. It doesn't take very long. This is a new podcast, High School Hoops. So I would hope you could go over and do that for us. Those 5 stars really mean a lot to us. If you could do that, we'd really appreciate it. Also, go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. 14-day free trial. Not sure how long that free trial is going to last. So if you're thinking about joining, I would do that soon. Also, it is the new year. It's 2019. What a great time to go over and check out our great community over there with like-minded coaches at teachhoops.com. So, all right, off to the podcast. And that's how I relax. It's like I got to get away from school and the papers and the team and all that kind of stuff. So that would be my advice to the coaches is you got to find, and it's different for everybody. I used to be able to read. Now it makes me fall asleep. So that's why I listen to more books. I mean, it just does.
It does, yeah.
It's like a beer. If I have one beer, I'm tired for the rest of the year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure.
No, so I think that, and I love reading, but it's just like I can't do it like I used to. So now I listen to them more, and I'm multitasking. I'm getting some exercise. I'm walking the dogs. I'm being outside, getting some sun, and I'm also, that's the thing with me. I relax when I'm multitasking too. Like last night, I was doing stuff with teachhoops.com, but I was also watching a movie.
I do that too sometimes. Which it'd be much easier when my son's not grabbing my Chromebook or my daughter's not wants me to go take her out sledding. Now we have all this snow now. My daughter wants to go sledding. It's like you start to multitask. It's just like it's hard sometimes. And
it
you
is.
know,
And it is. And the thing is, you can't multitask with kids. You can't.
Nope.
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
You got to and as a parent, that's the important thing. At that point, you can't multitask. You got to focus on them. As the thing, I saw my wife because we just came back from Florida, and some of our kids were good. They went on walks, but they don't really want to walk the beach with their parents. They don't really want to spend time with their parents.
No,
they're teenagers.
Absolutely not.
So it's hard. It's fine for me because I'm around teenagers all the time, and I realize that. It's harder for my wife because she doesn't really realize that. But I go, they're teenagers. They don't really want it. Let them go do their thing, and we can do our thing, and it's all cool. You know, it's not like they're playing in the street. You know, it's
right.
They're relaxed. The way my son relaxed for a week would be different than the way I would relax for a week. But he needed, he's taken like 6 AP classes, and he's got all this stress. That's fine, but he needs other things to relax, and that's okay. Everyone kind of comes up with their own window to do that. So, yeah. So I think the takeaway is find that specific thing that gives you the ability to turn off the coaching gene.
It is hard, especially for young coaches, because you're going to get early. You're going to make a lot of mistakes, so it's going to create frustration.
Right.
And maybe you practice way too long during winter break, and we talked about that before. Like, you just become more frustrated because you want to achieve so much in so little bit of time, and you have to understand it's a process, and you have to constantly value that within your program, and your players understand it's a process, and that mental time away from the game is really important too. And I know you were just talking about that. You gave your kids about a week off, and you've had 2 good weeks, 2 days of practice. You know, I think that really helped your program as you go into the next part of the season. You know, just that mental break and that relaxation is going to really help.
And part of it's being the old dog too. You know, I used to fight through that battle. I used to fight through the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. I used to fight the day before winter break practice. I used to fight with the 2 weeks over winter break that, you know, in my mind, I was thinking we could get all these things done. But in reality, they're out of routine. They're staying up too late. They're hanging with their friends. They're around it's not. It's better to be in routine. You know, and that why that break, I like I told you before, that break off was both a mental and a physical break for all of them, and they just came back like it was like the first week of practice. It was like, focus, let's go, we're back to work, we missed each other, you know, that kind of stuff. Not like, oh God, another day of practice, you know. Right. So no, we got 5 days of practice and we're gonna play again, and then it's gonna do that all season.
If you're feeling that, your players are feeling that 100 times more.
Yes,
because they're the ones doing the physical work, and so if you're exhausted and you're mentally drained, imagine how your players are feeling.
Right. So that's not even a point of this podcast, but I think that's important. It's like how do you let your players relax? Well, you let them relax by not being on them, by giving them time away, by letting their bodies and their minds rejuvenate. I think that's really important. So anything else, Coach? That's really good.
Just the importance of, you got to remind yourself you're human and you're dealing with other humans, and the importance of taking care of yourself is just as important, as being a great coach as well.
I think so too. All right. Talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. Couple things I would ask that you go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. It's 2019. I would like to be able to send my son to college. You can help me do that by joining teachhoops.com. But realistically, yes, it is 2019. And I think it would be a great time to become a better basketball coach. Let me help you become a better basketball coach. Let me help you, mentor you through this great journey. So go over and check it out, 14-day free trial. Also, go over and subscribe and like. We would really appreciate that. It's very easy to do. You can just do that on whatever you listen on, iTunes or Stitcher. All right. Have a great week, everybody. The days are getting longer. Bye-bye.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.